The Lions are staying ahead of the pack. Not the Green Bay Packers, but the pack of teams behind them, which happens to include the Green Bay Packers. And are they going to be able to fend everybody off? We can talk, and we do talk at great length about the importance of home field. I mean, the Lions last year finally won a playoff game for the second time in my life. They won a playoff game. But they did it at home. Then they won a second playoff game at home. Then they went on the road and lost. Now they've gone on the road and beaten quality teams this year, which is reassuring that if it's too much, if it's too big of an ask to keep winning with a depleted defensive roster, if it's too big of an ask for them to fend off everybody and win the top seed, but they have to go on the road at some point, can they get the job done? You know, you look back at wins that have aged very well. They went on the road and they beat the Vikings. At the time, they were 5-0. So I don't even know. The Cardinals win is one that aged pretty well. They've won at Green Bay. They've won at Houston. These are all teams that are currently sitting in playoff positions. The Lions have won at Houston, actually Arizona's just on the edge of a playoff, but they're half game behind Washington. One at Green Bay, one at Minnesota. I mean, this is so they've proven that they can go on the road and beat playoff caliber teams. You just don't want to have to. And whether or not yesterday showed some vulnerabilities in terms of, you know, just this team has vulnerabilities, or yesterday was all about injuries, they are being tested. They are being tested. And, you know, I've said it throughout this great stretch of football. Seasons are long. Lots can change. The concern now is what's changed is the last play of the game yesterday, by my count, they had 4 starters defensively on the field that were starters at the beginning of the year. 4. Lee McNeil, Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. Those are guys at the top of the depth chart at the beginning of the year. Now, given Zadarius Smith, check that, there's 5. Terrion Arnold was on the field as well. Zadarius Smith, starting caliber player they acquired during the season. But there were guys like Mohammed, Roderick Martin, Khalil Dorsey, Ezekiel Turner, Amik Robertson. Like, their depth is seriously getting tested. And Broderick Martin, looking at the snap counts. According to the official stats, Broderick Martin played 2 snaps. And you know what they were? They were actually the last 3 plays of the game. One of them didn't count because it was a race by penalty. Then he was on the field for the last 2 plays of the game. Broderick Martin. And, I mean, you talk about trying to find a way to make it happen. You got to find a way to win games. And Dan Campbell talked about it afterwards. The injuries, he's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. He's not buying into any of it. He's not going to talk about it. He's not going to dwell on it. And, I mean, personally, I kind of like it because I think it sends a message to his team. That's our job to talk about it. Again, according to the stats, Broderick Martin's first 2 snaps of the season were the last 2 plays of that game yesterday. That tells you where they are in terms of depth, in terms of injuries. Got the job done. With some help from the Bears, but they got the job done. 248-539-9797. People lining up, want to talk to you. It's Karsch and Anderson. We got open lines. Can they get it done? Are vulnerabilities being exposed? Can they keep winning with a depleted roster, without 8 defensive linemen, without Alex Anzalone? Rodrigo is a very scary possibility that he's going to be done for a while. Can they keep winning this way? Next 2 games are going to be telling. Green Bay and Buffalo.